NBA superstar Isaiah Thomas is used to having things his own way. But not today.
How do you do it, friend?
Hey, easy, Isaiah.
Air Fresh Gym Shoes. Just pass it to Will.
What's up, guys? Please excuse the way I look. I just came from a good day of playing basketball right after work, so it's been a long day. But today I am here to show you guys an early look at the 2025 release of the Air Jordan 5 Grape. So this is the 35th anniversary of the Air Jordan 5. So we got the black metallic 5s this year, we got the Grape 5s this year, and we're getting the fire red black tongue retro this year as well. So good year for 1990. You know, can't complain, honestly. And we already got the retro of the fire red in 2020. So of the silver tongue fire red. So. Alright, so before I get into this, I'm going to compare 2 or 3 shoes for you guys. But, well, let's just talk about the history of Jordan 5 a little bit. I've done a 5 video before, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. But obviously, in 1990, there was 4 original colors. Fire Red Black Tongue, that was not really released, and he wore as a PE, the 23 on the side. He had the Fire Red Silver Tongue, the Grape, and then the black metallic 5. So the Grape is the only one to never be worn on court by Michael Jordan. It is worn in a famous ad on the Wheaties box. Everybody's seen that, famous ad with the teal and blue jumpsuit. Super famous, iconic, a cult classic. The Grape colorway did a lot for streetwear. It did a lot for 90s sneakers. This is the first set of neon colored sneakers that we got in 1990. So this paved way for the infrared. This paved way for the Dion, the Emerald. This paved way for the Aqua 8. This paved way for anything that was not black and red or the team color of the silhouette or signature player that we're talking about in reference. So obviously, we have the Royal 1, but that was never worn on court as well because it was blue. But that one wasn't designed by Tinker. That was an obscure colorway, and so was the metallic pack. And then we have the military blue, and the true blue. But outside of those, and those aren't as out there as the Grape. Like this Grape screams 90s nostalgia, neon, dance. It did a lot because it was the first of the iterations to have an obscure colorway. We don't get any infrared or anything like that if we never get this one or if it never does well. It is based off of the Charlotte Hornets colorway, which obviously Michael Jordan is a North Carolinian. Shout out to North Carolina. Shout out all my dogs out here. This is the hoop state for y'all that didn't know. But it was, just an ode to Michael where he grew up and everything like that. So he is from Wilmington, North Carolina, for those of you who don't know. Shout out Seahawks. He didn't go to UNCW, though, obviously. But he went to UNC, but everybody knows that. So, also in 1990, or around, the Air Jordan 5 Grape was worn by another celebrity, Will Smith, on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He iconically wears them, I'm pretty sure, in the first episode and in many episodes throughout. He wears a bunch of different shoes and sneakers throughout, mostly Jordans. But he rocks the Bel-Air. He does rock the Bel-Air 5s, but that's premature. I'm pretty sure though. But he does rock the Grape 5s laceless inside of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm sure I'll have included a clip at the beginning or now. I don't know. We'll see. But, that really stapled this one into the history of 90s basketball sneaker culture. It made it a cult classic. Like I said, it's definitely one of the most famous and most impactful Jordans of all time. Top 10 colorway and silhouette of all time. Like, if we're talking about Bread 4 being one of the best Jordans of all time and Aqua 8s being one of the best Jordans of all time, this is in the top 10 of just Jordans of all time. The Grape 5 is super iconic. It did a lot for the game. And I'm glad that we're getting a fully functional, fully one-to-one retro, as close as we can get to the 1990 original retro. So we haven't really gotten this shoe a bunch. So it did release originally in 1990. 16 years later, it came out in 2006. A couple years later after that, it came out in 2013. And then now we have the release that we're talking about now. So we only have 3 retros. And this is the first time it's ever been done with the Nike Air. Both of the 2006 and the 2013 have Jumpmen on them. So they haven't been received the best. I mean, 2006 was pretty limited from what I hear, and was like one of the first like lifestyle in that lifestyle era where they were putting LS behind the shoes and everything. So those were pretty limited. And then 2013, apparently the leather wasn't great. I don't really know if I agree with that. But the Air Jordan 5 Grape did spawn some different iterations, different lookalikes. Spin-offs from the Air Jordan 5 Grape came in 2010, so this is 4 years after the first retro. And this was the Air Jordan 5 Fusion, so obviously we've gotten a plethora of Jordans that just have the Air Force One bottom. This was, I would say a popular one. Like, when I look at it, it looks like something that I remember seeing. A lot of the Fusions I can place, but it's not like I remember seeing them. But I think I remember vividly seeing this Fusion. So I'm not gonna say it was popular, but iconic. Fusions are what they are. I'm not here to talk bad about them or anything like that. I probably wouldn't wear them, but they are what they are. They're not bad. Who cares? So that was 2010. Flash forward to 2013, alongside the actual Grape releasing in 2013, we did get a alternate version, which was the Black Grape. I largely prefer the Black Grape 2013 version over the 2013 White Grape. And I do have both of these here today, so I'm gonna show both of those when I do the comparisons of like the different aspects of the shoe. Moving on to the pre-Grape, and the pre-Grape is actually based off an original sketch that Tinker did. We almost never got the White Grape. It originally was like all navy-ish, this dark violet color that the pre-Grape is. So that was almost what we got originally, but I'm very glad that we got the actual Grape because I do not like the pre-Grapes. I do like the alternate Grapes, which came in 2020. I went ahead and skipped to that just because they're very similar. One's just dark, deep purple suede, and one is leather based off of an original sample that I'm glad never came out. 2018, we got a laceless pair of Jordan 5 Grape. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that. It's like not flowing off the tongue. But this one was a direct nod to the Fresh Prince, so I think they are dubbed the Fresh Prince. So this is a Jordan Energy release, NRG. And it had no lace holes, so this is a pretty controversial release. Not only were they not super accessible, but obviously it wasn't like they came with lace holes and just didn't come with laces. There was no lace holes, so people were punching holes and doing that. I probably would have just bought a 2013 pair if I was really that pressed for it, because they weren't. It's not like you could just go to the store and get them. They were pretty limited anyway, so. There was also a friends and family version of that one, which is the same shoe but all gold, no laces as well. It was pretty cool, but obviously that was only friends and family for like Will Smith's. There's probably like 50 numbered pairs. There's probably more than that, but still, I think I remember seeing that he got to choose 50 of his friends and family, so that was a cool thing to see. And then, like I said, the alternate Grape coming in 2020, that was the last spinoff of the Jordan 5, and it's been 5 years since we've gotten a smell of any grapes, Now it's 2025 and we're getting the True to OG. And without further ado, let's get into it. This box got a lot of dust on it, I'm not gonna lie. Jeez. I didn't think it was gonna do that. I shouldn't have done that. Alright. This is one of my favorite shoes of all time. And I have a sad story to tell about it. Some of you who know me know this story already. It's very sad. I only got to wear these one time, and it was to my Foot Locker interview. I got the job, and that started me down this journey of literally buying everything. But let's flash back to April or May of 2019. So I put these on. I put my little polo shirt on, and I'm going down my little Foot Locker interview. Cool. I'm feeling myself, and that's important. Confidence is important going into things like that because I was definitely nervous. I've been trying to get a job at Foot Locker since I was literally like a baby, and so I get in and I'm just doing my interview and I'm all good. And then my interviewee, his name is Alan. Shout out to Alan, the GOAT, with the best store manager I've ever had. And he asked me what my favorite sneaker was. And I knew my answer off the top of my head, but something made me look down at the ground. And I looked down at the ground, and anytime you put pressure inside of this, like when you're walking, it puts pressure on the wings. And I bought these off StockX brand new in 2013, and my webs both were just flapping. And so obviously I had to finish my interview defeated mentally, and then walk out of the mall with these joints flapping on the side. People probably thought my shoes was fake. It was a very sad mental day for me. Obviously, I did get the job, so that was the highlight. But these are unfortunately not really wearable until I get that fixed, which I've reached out to some people, but never really got anywhere. So if anybody thinks that they can just glue this down for me, I'm just scared I'm gonna mess it up. Or if anybody has another fix for me, please hit me up. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys can help me out with these. I've been sitting on these forever. Like, by the time I actually get to wear them, they might just fall apart in general. But if I can salvage these, this is one of my favorite sneakers of all time. So, sad story with the smallest violin. I only need one of these out, so. I haven't even opened this box in so long. I think I brought these out on the podcast one time. So if any of you guys watch the podcast, yeah, this joint's getting sticky, bro. What is that? Is that? Ugh. It's like literally a piece of the webbing is just like, I don't even know how this came. It's still not separating though, but. They're clean. This is one of the best Grape iterations of all time. I do really like the alternate Grape as well that I didn't get because my Foot Locker manager at the time, not Alan, shout out to not Alan, lied about having COVID and we were closed for a couple weeks. So I missed out on the Toro 14s and the alternate Grape 5s on discount. Thank you very much. Not Anthony. Not Alan. So, next I'm going to bring out this is the 2013, so these are both the 2013 releases. They look pretty good, pretty true to OG, obviously, except the shape is a little bit different here, and then we do have a, Emerald Jumpman instead of the Emerald Nike Air. This is how you can tell. These were Rich's, and these were mine. Look at the difference between the laces, you can just tell. And I'm pretty sure mine... No, the black grapes are a 10.5, and this one's a 10, but they look pretty much identical. Honestly, the black grapes look a little bit slimmer, even though they're a larger size. And then finally, drum roll, please. I was just talking to Meg, seeing if I should, go ahead and purchase this one. Seeing as how I have the 2013, but these things look good, bro. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. They look amazing. Something about that Emerald Nike Air. Emerald, what does it say? Emerald Ice? Emerald Grape Ice. So, amazing. Just amazing. And I know this is literally the same shoe, but it's just amazing. Oh damn, I gotta go get the black metallics too, because apparently they changed the toes on this. So off first glance, the only thing that I'm noticing a little bit of a difference on so far, the toe cap is pretty similar, which is the thing I was keeping an eye out for. But right here, above this tongue, the stitching here is a lot more clean and slimmer and more just half circle, semicircle-ish, and this one's like much wider and not as close to a circle. It's definitely like ovalish shape, more like a oblong football shape right here. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but and it's the same. These are the exact same because they're both the 2013 version. Let me get out that black metallic 5 so we can look at the toe. Okay, yeah. Let me grab the other one. So, yeah, looking at this from the top, this is a huge difference that I really honestly didn't notice. So I'm not one of the people that was upset about this. But now looking at it, I see a huge difference between the tongue. I mean, I keep wanting to say tongue, the toe cap. So it's just almost non-existent here as far as coming up onto the actual toe. It's a lot slimmer and it's different. I can't formulate words to explain this to you guys, but this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the OG cut. This Air Jordan 5 is one of the closest we've ever gotten. It's even closer than the 2020 Fire Reds, which started off like kind of trying to get us closer to the OG cut, but and it has the widow's peak and everything. So this one is pretty close. This is OG, guys. For those of you who did not know, this was never emerald. It has always been black. So the lace lock and the branding on the lace lock has always been black. It has never been emerald or purple or anything like that. It may have been like that on the 2006 release, but this is the way it's supposed to come. This shoe is, like I said, I can't stress it enough, as close to OG specs as we can get. So I don't have too much more for you guys. Obviously, these did go up in price recently. So after the Nike tariff, these are now a retail price of $215. So anybody that put out their video any earlier than probably within the last few weeks or the last week or so told you these were $210, and they are now $215, as well as the Ferrari 14s are now $215 as well. I believed that we were safe from the Jordan increase from the Nike tariff price increase, but unfortunately our Jordans are going up. I don't think it's going to be every Jordan, but I have seen it so far across the board for every release that has come out or is coming out in the next few weeks. So, stay tuned for more, and I will let you guys know. Anyone who is new here, welcome. I'm Spencer from the Soul Sandy Sneaker Podcast, and I do sneaker videos in between our podcast episodes, which come out about once a week, where we talk about sneaker culture, reselling, markets, sports, anything that has to do with sneakers, we'll talk about it. But I'm here to bring you guys videos in our hiatuses, so please consider leaving us a subscription. We really appreciate you guys. We are very close to being at a level where we can start interacting with you guys on a more emotional level. We can really connect with you guys. I have some cool things planned for when we get to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys hit that sub button. It really means a lot to us and the gang overall in the Soul Sandy Sneaker Podcast. So go check out our most recent video where we've been talking about who knows what, because everybody's a fool, everybody's a character, but we have a great time and we talk about sneakers. So if you love sneakers, we love you, and you should love us. And that's all I got for you guys today. So I will catch y'all out on another video. Peace, love, and these shouldn't be hard to get, so there's a lot of pairs, so just make sure y'all do your research and do your legwork for your raffles and do your due diligence. People are gonna be broke after these Ferraris, but there's not that many of them, so just do your due diligence and you should get your pair. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, shouldn't be hard. But I'll catch y'all out in another video. Peace.